There are three different groups of people that are going to be watching this, okay? If you're a partner in Tier 5 like I am, my name is Ed Akehurst. I didn't introduce myself. I am a Tier 5 lifetime partner. If you're also a partner in Tier 5, hopefully you'll get some good stuff out of this training. Hit me up later. During you can, but also later if you have any questions or you have trouble doing this for yourself. If you were invited by me as a client or customer or friend, hit me up later if you want to talk about the software. And if a partner has invited you and you want to upgrade or join the partnership, see the person who invited you to watch this video, and they will take good care of you. So what I would like to do, I guess, first, let's see, let me just make sure I've covered all the housekeeping. Okay. And bear with me because, again, it's only the second time I've used StreamYard, and it's the second time I've built this particular funnel. So things happen live. All right, let me close this out. Okay, and again, just to make sure everybody's on the right place, what we're going to be doing today is building a sales funnel using Genius Pages and Chirply. Okay, those are two Tier 5 softwares. The funnel that I'm going to build is going to give away those two softwares, a starter account, and then I'll have an upsell to upgrade them to a higher level of the plan or to get them to join the partnership. If you're a Tier 5 partner, you can design a funnel to do exactly that if you would like. If you are a business owner or an online marketer, you can take the concepts and how we're going to build this and put your own products or information in here. So what I want to do, let me share my screen here. And I want to walk through, just give you a little visual of what we're going to walk through. I'll make my share screen much bigger. I'll take care of my, get rid of my picture once we actually start building the funnel. I want to show you what you're going to look forward to today. We're going to build a funnel. In Chirply, we're going to build a form page that's going to capture the people's name, email, and phone number. And then what we're going to do is they're going to go to a page after they've entered that gives them a countdown timer. That's also going to be built in Genius Pages. And then in Chirply, which you'll see in blue, when they enter that information, while they're going to the timer page, we're going to set up an outbound IVR that will actually call them on the telephone. And they can either opt out, or we'll set it so that it keeps calling them if they don't answer the phone or they hang up. And then they can press 1 and I'll set up the software, because that's my free gift in this funnel is the software. If you're, again, a business owner and you're giving something different away, your automation will be a little bit different, but the process of setting this up will be identical. From there, we're going to put them into an automation campaign, and I'll show you how to build that. We're going to build that right inside Chirply this morning, while we're going through this. And once the countdown timer is up, while they're calling and pressing 1, hopefully, we're going to take them to our upsell page. In my case, again, I'm going to try to upsell them on a higher level plan of software, or get them to buy additional software or join our partner program. And you may be doing something different, but always have an upsell page on your funnel. Okay, and then what we'll try to do there is, in this funnel, I try to make a live call with them so I can get on the phone with them and talk about the partner page. That's optional. Depending on what you're doing with this sales funnel, you may not need to do that. But I'm going to show you how to do it, and we're going to build it up, and then we're going to put that into an automation campaign also. So that's what we're going to look at through this process. Let's get started. Okay, the first thing we want to do, we're going to use Chirply, which I'm in now. We're going to use Genius Pages. We're going to use Twilio, and we're going to use Zapier. So as those things come up, we'll show them. Now, Genius Pages, this is, by the way, let me just show you this real quick. This is my page that I built for the funnel. We're going to build one similar to this. I'm not going to put all these details. We don't need a Q&A today. Once you see how to build the page, you'll do that. We're going to do something much more basic, but you'll know exactly how to do this. So we're going to see that, and then we're going to go to a countdown timer page. I don't know why that didn't come up, but let's put it back in there. And you're going to go to a page like this. We're going to build this page that's going to have a countdown timer on it. What you see down here with the pink in the background is sticky reviews. That is another Tier 5 software that you can get if you want to put testimonials on your page. And then once this countdown comes down, we're going to take them to the upsell page, and we'll build that out. So the first thing we want to do is let's go to Genius Pages. And I'm going to log into a brand new account. Let's log into an account I set up for my wife. Good, we're already logged in. Because before you can do anything, you're going to want to tie Genius Pages to Zapier. You're also going to want to tie Chirply to Zapier. I'm not going to show you how to do that in this training, only because inside of Chirply is a training section right here where the hat is, and you can learn how to do that inside here very easily. Genius Pages is still in beta. It's a brand new program. There's no training for it yet. So you're not going to have any training on how to do that. So let me show you. When you log in, you're going to go to Settings, and you'll see that there is a Zapier. You're going to want to generate a token, and you'll see the string of characters. And if you click Copy Token, that'll be copied. And then I'm not going to click this because I've already got it in Zapier, but you click that link, it'll take you to Zapier. And once you're inside Zapier, you won't have a page that looks like this. It'll say, Tier 5 would like to invite you to use our Genius Pages integration. And then you'll be done. Then you'll be good. So make sure you set that up first. It's not, some people get confused. That's not in integrations. There are other integrations. That one is set up at the Settings tab. So make sure you do that before you get all started. So let me get out of here, and I'm going to log into my, whoops, got to log out. Let's log into my Genius Pages account, and we'll build this in here. All right, let me go back and see if there are any questions yet. Okay, don't see any. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. All right, so here we go. So let's go to here. What we want to do is create a new site. Okay, we're gonna put this whole funnel is going to be in one site. So you want to just click Create a Site, and let me just kind of show you what we've got here inside of here now. We've got on the left menu here things called pop-ups. That's if you want to build a pop-up. If somebody tries to leave your page, it'll capture their attention before they leave. We're not going to go through one of those this morning, but once we get finished, you'll know exactly how to do that. Pages we are going to do. Okay, remember I said we're going to have our initial page, which is on here as index. We're going to have a page 2, and we're going to have a page 3. Page 2 in our case is going to be the timer countdown, and page 3 is going to be our upsell. Stopping for a sip of water. Okay, so you can rename these. You can type something in there if you want. But now we've got 3 pages ready to go. Let's go back to the index page. So whichever one is highlighted is the one that you're going to be on to edit. And then you can click this button to close that. Then you have 2 things called blocks and components. In order to build your page, it's built on blocks, and the components sit inside a block. So if you're looking at a component, let's say you want to put a button in there, a large button. If you try to do that, click it and drag it, it won't go because we don't have any blocks here. So the first place you need to start is the section called blocks. And if you want to build your own thing from scratch, you can hit an empty block and drag that over. Okay, and there's an empty block. Now you'll see if we go back to components and we want to put a button in, there's our large button that we can now edit. Now you saw a blue line. When you're moving something over from the left section, whether you're in blocks or components, you want to click it and drag it, and you need to go until you see a blue line. So here I can put this button above that one. There's the blue line. I can let go now if I want, or I can scroll down. There's a button, a blue line. I can put it below it. Now we can create padding and other things around this, which I'll show a little later in the training. So just remember, you have to have a block before you can have a component. Now I'm going to be using some that are pre-made, and we're going to just edit them. If you need to get rid of a block that you have, there's this menu over here. You can click the X to get rid of it, hit the gear to get it. That is for this entire block. And you can just hit trash, delete, and it'll go away. So what I want to start, okay, now we were in empty blocks, so we need to get rid of the empty blocks, which you can just click back on that, and there's your list. What I want to do is a call to action, because our first page, our main page here, is going to be a form. Okay, so we need to find a form, and there are some that are in here. These all have buttons. Okay, whoops. Let's see, whoops, contact. We don't want call to action, we want contact. Okay, I need a form for this funnel that has a name, an email, and a phone number. Some of them only have, like, let's drag this over. You can take a look at this a little better when it's big. This one only captures a name and an email. That's not going to work for us. Now, again, remember, this software is in beta, so there will be many other things that you'll be able to do by the time this is completed. I'm going to use this form here. And you'll see we've got some sections here. We've got a section with some text. We've got a form that captures a name, an email, and a phone number, and a comment. I'm going to get rid of that. And then where you submit the contact form, and then some other information, which I'll probably get rid of also. Now, one thing in Genius Pages, save often, okay? This does not automatically save what you're doing. So you'll see me save, and I guarantee sometime going through this process, I'm going to screw something up and have to go back and reload it, and I will not have saved it. So, but just save as often as you can. So what I want to do, you need some type of a heading up here. So the way these sections work, if you click, let me get rid of this. You can get rid of your side section here, okay? If you click inside of a section, you'll get a little menu, and you'll see 4 icons. If you want to get rid of it, you hit, like, let's get rid of this address section. I'll use it as an example. Hit the trash can. It'll go away. It will double check that you want to get rid of that section. It won't just automatically go away. This one clones it. So if you want to put another headline or another section, you can do that. I'll get rid of that. This one is to edit the text. Okay, so let's put fill out our form below. Okay, now obviously you're going to want to do something a little fancier than that. On the one that I did, it said get your free software, but whatever your lead magnet is, you know, you want to entice them. So put some text there. If you highlight any of the text in there, you get a little edit bar below it. You can bold, although that's already bolded. Actually, that's a headline. You can't unbold or bold that, but if it's normal text, you can bold it, italicize it, underline it. You can change the font. We have some font selections. You can change the size of your information. The droplet here is color. Okay, if you want to make this a different color, you could make it red. I don't really like that, but you can. Okay, you can center it. This one I will center, so you can do your adjustment there. You can do different heading types. You could add a link there, add a hyperlink, and put the URL and check whether it's going to go into a new tab or not. And there's an undo, and you can erase things. So that's basically how the text editor works. That's the T. If you click inside there and click T, you'll be in the text editor. And then this little pencil on the left opens up a detail editor on the side. You can change the font and text also in here, but you can put margins above it if you need extra space above the text or below the text and things like that. And then if you do that, you need to hit apply changes, or if you didn't do anything, just hit the X and we're out of there. So that's how that works. Now your main block also has edits. You'll see there's no text because it's a block, but we can hit the edit up there and we could put padding. For example, there's 100 pixels of padding up above this block. I don't need that much. There's 100 below. I'm going to change both of those to 20 and hit apply. And you see how that jumped up towards the top of the page. We got rid of 80 pixels worth of blank spaces above that. So that's how you can do a little bit of formatting. While I'm talking about that, let me get rid of this detail editor and make sure you hit apply before that happens. While I'm talking about that, up above where it says fill out a form, you'll see 2 things up here. These are different things. This is different ways to look at this, where you can get the form. It's not going to show much now because I don't have a lot, but it'll show your skeleton. If you just want to move things around, you want to move sections around and things like that, it's an easy way to do it. But you'll want to be over there. And if you hover over the save now or nothing to save button, you'll hit a preview tab. So it'll tell you if you want to do it. Now, some things aren't live, links aren't live and things like that, but you can hit that and see preview changes and see what it's going to look like on your browser. And of course, you can drag the edge and make it small and see what it's going to look like on a different size screen and that type of thing. So we don't need to do that. Let's go on to the next section. So we filled out our form. Now, the form itself, we're going to want to do some changes. Let me take my own advice and hit save now before I go forward. By the way, you can put, footers and other sections and things like that. Okay, so in the actual form itself, it says your name, your email, your phone number, add comment. If you click in the form itself, you don't really want to do that, okay? Because you're looking in these little text areas. And you can change, what it says and where the placeholders are and things like that. I changed that in the code, but you can change it here. Like instead of add comment, you know, tell us what you need. Apply changes, okay? You can also change that inside the code. Over here, there's a code icon. Don't use this if you don't know what you're doing with code, but you can go down here to the placeholders and, you know, like, for example, this one says your phone number. I can type required or you won't get your free counts. Okay, and you can save that there. Oops, I misspelled that. We'll save that there, and then you can get rid of that, and you'll see that change there. So you can change that there. The problem with that sometimes is, see how my things are coming up, I'm getting autofills, so that's why I do that in the code. But you can also do that. Now, I want to get rid of this block, okay? I'm going to hit trash because we don't want comments. We just want them to give their info. So there's our new form. Now, if you click inside the form somewhere, you're going to get your little red menu. I'm going to click this. You see the style thing that the other ones have where you can put margins, but you also have a tab here called Form. And that's what you need to do. Now, we have to name this form. That is mandatory. It is required. So you could call, I'm going to call this Genius Pages and Chirply Facebook Live form. Okay, so we're going to actually create this form. You can email this data somewhere that they put. You can do a custom action. You can do an API integration if you're sending this data to your autoresponder or something else that uses an API. You could paste in your own information if you already have a form. You don't want to use the one that's built in. But what we're going to do is integrate this with Zapier. So you want to hit the check, and then redirection URL is where is this visitor that just filled out the form and just hit submit contact form, where is this visitor going to go after they submit that information? Well, we want to go, well, I can't put it in there yet. I'm glad I did that because I have to show you. Let's apply the changes. So that's saved. What we have to do first is we have to figure out where the site is going to go. So up here on this down arrow on the upper right-hand corner, you have site settings. These are things for the entire site where you can change the site. We'll just call this our new sales funnel. Now, you wouldn't want to call it that because that shows up. The customer can see that, okay? But give it some kind of name, you know, get your free accounts here or get your free gift here, whatever you happen to be doing. And then where you're publishing it. Okay, you can publish it in a subfolder, a subdomain, or a custom domain. I'm not going to get into custom domains during this training. It's a little more complicated, but we can do another training on that. For right now, we're going to do a subdomain. And that means this will be something.geniuspages.io will be the URL of this. So let's call this Facebook Live Demo Site. Okay. Actually, let's make this shorter just because we're going to have to type this FB Live Site. How's that? And let's see if we can get it. Save settings. And yeah, all went well. Yay. Okay. So that's done. Let's hit save now. Remember, we want to do that. Now what we can do, I'm going to remind you before I show you this next part that we've got multiple pages. So what we want to do on the form is after they've gone to the index page, we want to send them to page 2, which we haven't built yet. So that's what we want to do right now. So let's click this form. Let's click the edit. Let's go over to form. Genius Pages and Chirply FB Live form. That's what I'm going to call the form. It's already named that. And we want to integrate with Zapier. Now, where are we going to go? https:// we named this FB Live Demo, right? .geniuspages.io. That is where as long as I type that in right, we're good. So once they fill the form, it's going to send the form information to Zapier. We are going to build this out in Zapier. I'll show you what Zapier does with that information. And then the customer is going to go to your next page. So we need to put /page2. Now, if you've given a custom name to your page 2, type that in here. I haven't. So it's just going to be page 2 with a capital P. So I'll hit apply changes and save now. So now the person, when they fill out the form, is going to go to success is going to go to that page. So we need to, well, we don't need to do this. I was going to change, can't do that in there. Well, I want to change this text on here for the submit form. And I believe we're going to want to do that easily inside the code. Okay, there's the button. And there's the form name. Let's see if we have the button text. What was that text called? Easy way to find it. Submit contact forms. Let's go back into the code. I'm going to do a search for the word submit. I don't see it. Okay, so I don't remember where to change that. So we'll come back to that one. All right, so there's your form. Nothing to save now. Now, let's make this page look a little prettier, okay? Let's make this look better. What I want to do is I want to put a video in here, okay? So let's go over here to the side. Let's go to, actually, let's go to blocks. Let's put an empty block in here, and I'm going to put this empty block above what we've just done, and I'll show you how to get a different look to this. Let's do empty block. Let's drag it. I want it above here. You can put it above or you can put it below. I'm going to put it above. Okay, there's an empty block right there. And I want to put a video. Okay, what I want to do is I want to put a video to the left, and I want to put our form and just our form to the right. So let me show you how to do that. Let's go up. You can build this all from scratch, but let's go to some pre-made blocks up here. Let's go to all blocks, and I'm going to scroll down until I see something that's 2 columns. It doesn't necessarily have to have a video already in there. It just has to have 2 columns. Okay, here's one with 2 columns. Let's drag that over there. It's still saving, okay. And it's not going to look like 2 columns because we've got that there, but it is. See how we have 2 columns here? Now let's tighten this all up a little bit. So let's get rid of our padding at the top and padding at the bottom. We'll just make that a lot tighter. Okay. And what we want to do, since we have 2 columns, I want to put our form on the right. So what we can do is we can go down here. You know what I did? I didn't. Okay, there's an extra space here in the bottom. Let's get rid of that. Delete that. Okay. Now, I want to take this form. So I'm going to click the form in here until I get that red box around the form. Now, do you see how the mouse has the little 4 directional arrow cross on there? I'm clicking down and holding, and I can move this. Whoops, that got the text. Okay, I don't want the text. I want the form. So let's click in the form. There we go. There's our form. And let's just put it over here. There's our blue line. There's our form. Okay, now I can get rid of that heading. I don't need it. I can get rid of this text up above it. I don't need it. Actually, I could have dragged the text over there with it. Let's get rid of that. And now let's move our, I could have grabbed both of those. If I'd have highlighted them, I could have done it, but let's move this. We want to move it up. See the blue line? Just go till we get the blue line and then let go. Great. Now over here, what we want is a video. So if we go to components, get rid of the buttons, we're going to look for media. And this is where you can insert videos or images. Let's just do a YouTube video, and I'm going to drag that, and there's the blue line, and I'm going to let go of that, and then I can get rid of this other one down here. Okay, let me save. Okay. And let's take a preview and just make sure this looks good once we've saved this. And then I'll come back and see if there are any questions yet. I'll take a look. Okay, preview. Yeah, we do want to preview it. Okay, there we go. So look at this. We've got that blue line won't be there on a, when this is actually done. This is just because we're in preview. We've got a video on the left. We've got a form on the right. We've got this garbage at the bottom that we haven't gotten rid of yet, which we will. Okay, so you see how we're starting to get a nice looking page? I think what we're going to want to do is let's put a block. Let's do, I can probably just scroll down and find one. We want to put a nice header across the top of this. Well, here's an easy way to do it. Let's just put an empty one. Again, I'm not going to build this out really pretty, but I want to give you a good idea of the different things that you can do. Okay, now we can get a component. Let's find headlines, headings. we can just put headline 1 there, and we can put in our text. Remember, we hit text. I just clicked that 3 times fast, and it highlighted it all. And we'll put cool headline here. Okay. And if I want to tighten that up a little bit, remember, we can click that, and it has no padding. So we're as tight as we can get on that. That's fine. Okay, cool headline here. And then we've got that. So now we can get rid of this block down here. Now we can get rid of that whole block. That's the one we started with, just by clicking that and hitting the trash can. That's gone. Okay, let's save and let's preview it. Now let's see what this page is going to look like, or get a little bit of an idea of what it's going to look like. Preview. There we go. Okay, and you can put, more information at the bottom. I have a Q&A on mine and all of that, but we've got a pretty decent, very basic, but a pretty decent landing page. We'll have a video. We'll link that video. I'll show you how to do that. I'm not going to link it to a video during the demonstration here, but when you come back over here to this, we're going to click that. If you hit the little pencil icon there, you can highlight that. You don't put the entire URL of the YouTube video there. YouTube URLs look something like https://youtube.com// I think it's watch equals, and then a bunch of characters. You just need that string of characters. That's all you put in there, and hit apply changes. And it'll play the video that you picked in YouTube. It'll embed it in there. Page 1 is pretty much done. Okay, let's build page 2. Let's keep building in Genius Pages for a bit before we start doing our integrations with Zapier and Chirply. So I'm going to make this next page really simple, because I do want to keep this moving. Hopefully you've got a pretty good idea of how to edit things inside Genius Pages. So let's go to page 2. Now this page, remember, in this particular sales funnel that we're building, what's going to happen after they fill out the form is they're going to get a phone call. We're going to set up so Chirply calls them. So what I want to do is hold their attention while they're waiting for the phone call. So what I want to do is put a countdown timer on here. Let's find one. Doesn't really matter what one we use. We just want to find one that looks cool. There was might not be in that section. Oh, you know what we can do? Let me show you how to do this. I will make this just a little bit different. Let's say we like this background, but we like this countdown timer. Let's find a countdown timer that we like. Let's say we like the countdown timer from this block. Okay, so I'm going to drag that to the bottom of the page and let go. Remember, that's a block. We're not waiting for the blue line. You're only waiting for that blue line to show up if you're moving a component around inside a block. So what I want to do is I want to use this teddy bear background and possibly even this dark shaded overlay where it says it's true and let's get stuff done. But I don't want a button there. I want my countdown timer where it says let's get stuff done. So let's go down here and get this timer and just click around that area. And then once you get that icon, we can drag this. If I can get my mouse pad to work, we can drag this and put it right there. And now that's the only thing I wanted from this block down here, so we can just trash it, right? We don't need that. We just wanted to grab that countdown timer from it. Okay, we don't need, whoops, we don't need this. Let's get rid of that. And then we'll put something up here to let the customer know what's going on. Okay, so if we hit this, congratulations, you are almost there. I don't need a space there. All right, and then we can just put some instructions in there, let them know what's going on. Now, if you don't have a countdown timer, if you're not calling the person, and this is the only second page you're going to have, you don't have that interim step that I'm going to use with Chirply, then this could be, you know, thanks a lot, we'll be in touch. If you're a service business, if you're designing this funnel for a roofer that wants to get in touch with somebody, maybe you've embedded their Calendly booking calendar here, you know, schedule a call with me so I can come out and do a free estimate. Personally, I would do a sales bridge. I would have the system call them, and you'll see how to do a sales bridge during this training, have a sales bridge where as soon as they fill out the form, that lead goes to the roofer, and Chirply automatically gets the roofer on the phone with the customer, and it happens automatic. The roofer gets a call that says, hey, you've got a lead. Press 1 if you have time to talk to him. He presses 1. It rings the customer's phone. Boom, they're done. You can do all of that kind of stuff, and I'll show you that in Chirply a little bit later. But in this funnel that we're building, we need to let them know, you say something like, I am calling you. Your free accounts will not be set up unless you answer and press 1. Okay, I put that in there, the instructions, 1, because they know they have to answer, and I'm telling them they have to press 1. Okay, so they know, oh, I'm not waiting on a live call. Some people are very nervous about a live call. I didn't mention anything in here. I need to edit this. I didn't mention anything here when I first built this funnel about pressing 1 or it was an automated call. I just said, hey, I'm going to call you. You got to answer the phone to get them. And the conversions weren't that great. And I figured out that people were afraid of answering the phone. So I put here something now like press 1, or it's an automated call. You don't have to talk to anybody, but you do have to answer the phone and follow the instructions to get your free account set up. The conversion rates increase because people are much more comfortable with answering the phone. Can I put some color in the background? Sure, we can put, I don't know when you were asking that, Joe, about 4 minutes ago. Yes, we can put color in the background. I'll show that. Let's do that on the next page when we build our upsell page. Great question. Okay, so that's it. So I do that for conversions. And then the timer, we need to edit this timer. So if you click in there and click the little left pencil there, you've got your style, but you've also got a countdown tab over here in your detail editor. Okay, and we can do a date and time, all right, or we can do, like if we're doing a launch, this is let us know when something's launching, we can do it, you know, how many days and hours from now, and that is what I'm going to use, or we can have a countdown timer go to a particular day and time, okay? So we're going to do landing page. And this call is going to happen in 1 or 2 minutes. So I'm going to pick, I'll pick 2 because we're using Zapier. There will be a direct integration with this. And once that happens, you'll only need to do 1 minute because they'll get that call in 10 seconds. But for right now, we'll do 2 minutes. Countdown continues on next visit. No, every time they visit this page, we want to reset this counter. Okay. And when it reaches 0, we want to redirect to another page. Well, we're going to take them to the next page in this. So what do we have? Our subdomain is fblivedemo.com. Not .com, Genius Pages. Let's have it. .io/ and page 3. If you remember, it's going to be our upsell page. So when that timer hits 0, okay, and we can come back here and say something. We should tell them what's happening, right? Let's finish this a little bit. I am calling you. Let's put this up top. I am calling you. Your phone will ring before the countdown hits 0. We don't want them to leave this page. We want them to stay there until the countdown goes down. So what will happen is the countdown goes down, their phone rings, they're going to be engaged with the phone, they're going to press 1. There will be some other things that will happen. I'll show you because we're gonna do some cool stuff and pre-qualify them in the phone IVR in Chirply. So by the time all that's done, this counter will have changed and they'll be on the upsell page. So that's what we want. Okay. That's pretty good. Okay. So that's page 2. All right. Page 3 we need to do, and then we'll be finished in Genius Pages is for that aspect of it. And then we'll go build out the Zaps and we will build out the Chirply side of this. Okay. So click on page 3. All right. There's nothing in page 3 yet. Let's go to blocks. Let's find, well, you know what? Let's just drag that block over. Joe wanted me to, and I don't know if he wanted or somebody was asking a question, and I've never changed the background color. So let's find out, whoops, how simple that is. I'm going to go up here to this different framework. I'm trying to get, let's see, the entire section. I know I can do it in the code, but that's not probably not going to help people. Let's see if it's there. Okay, it is not. Let's get rid of the detail editor. Here's the beauty of live stuff, right? I want, oh, I don't know, did I show you clone? Yes, I did teach clone. Well, there should be, I don't know why I'm not seeing, let's do another block. There should be a, let's not do countdown timers. Maybe they're set up differently. Content, let's try this one. There should be a little thing that you can click. There we go. See, I wasn't seeing, I don't know why that wasn't showing up here. That's what I was trying to get. If we hit that one, there we go. Okay, that's what you need. So remember, we're not down here in the small component. We're up here in the big block. Joe wanted to change his background color. We could go from green to red. And remember, nothing's going to happen until you apply changes. And there's your background. Ooh, that's bright. Okay, but you get the idea. That's how to, I'm gonna tone that down just a wee bit. Let's do a nice soft blue. Okay, that's a little easier on the eyes. Now we might need to go to black text, but that's fine. So Joe, hopefully that answered that question for you. Let's get rid of this block. We'll use that blue. We'll make our upsell in there. Okay. On mine, okay, now they're done, right? They've answered the phone, so hopefully they've picked up the phone and pressed 1. Now we can capture them, right? So we can say, if you answered, because remember, they're going to go to this page when that timer goes down, whether they answer the phone or not. If you answered the phone and pressed 1, congratulations on your free software. On your, let's do new software accounts. Okay, so we've told them what they've done. Now I want to say something like, if you didn't answer the phone and press 1, start over at the beginning. And I can link that page. Actually, I haven't made a URL in here, so let's show you how that's done. I've only talked about it. Start over at the beginning. And now this, we don't need that to be bold, right? So let's do that. We'll highlight that. Let's make this text much smaller. Let's get rid of the, actually, I'm in a heading section, so I probably can't get rid of the bold. I should have done that down there, but that's okay. And then let's take this word beginning, and let's make that a link, and we're going to take them back to the beginning of this funnel where they have to fill out the form again, because that'll trigger that call to them again, right? So we're going to go, what did I call this? FB Live Demo. I hope I'm remembering this URL because I've put it everywhere, geniuspages.io. And we don't need to put anything else in there. I could put /index.html, but I don't need anything else because that is the beginning of the page. Now, I don't need to open this in a new tab because they'll come back to this page again later. Okay, let's hit save now. That text should probably not be in the bold thing. All right, let's make that. Let's get rid of that. I hit Command X. We'll go down here into tab, highlight everything, Command V. Now you can see that's underlined. We should probably make this black. It'll show up better on the blue, I believe. And again, you have to highlight everything that you're changing the color of because you can have multiple colors inside of a text area. All right, let's change all of that to black. So we're hitting that color icon. It looks like a drip, paint drip, and then hit the color, and we'll save now. And then you can give them other things to do. What I want them to do, let's get rid of that button. And what I want them to do is, we can get rid of that. I don't really need that. Actually, let's put a text block over there. I'm not going to make this super fancy. I just want to put something in there. But let's put content. These are blocks. We want components. Okay, let's put text. All right, and we can just do a regular paragraph of text, and we can put that right above that, and then we can just get rid of that picture. Although pictures are kind of cool, we could leave that in there. But what I really want to do here is make an offer to them. I want to upsell something. So I can put something like, I have a special offer for you. And I would write out a whole sales page on here, but for this demo, I'm not going to do that. I just want to give you the gist of it. I have a special offer for you. Text partner to, and I don't have the phone number yet. We haven't done that in Chirply, so I'll just put a placeholder here. And here all, and get info. Okay, and you'll put a whole sales page in there. I would put a video on my upsell page. I have a video that explains the offer and what it is and why the value is good. It's only $97 a month and this and that, and to get this text partner to where you want to send it to. But for examples of this training, get the awesome info. I'm just going to keep this super basic. Okay, so we can make that bold. We can make that big. All right, we can get rid of this picture down there. All right, so this is a super basic upsell page. This is not at all what I would want to do if you're doing an upsell page, but I just want to show you how to create one. Okay, and we are going to come back and fix this text here because that's something else that I want to show in this training. That's it for Genius Pages for the moment. Let me stop for a minute. I'm going to go back and see if there are any questions. Yes, Scott, thank you. And I did. I just wasn't getting that red dot showing up until I saw it. But yes, Scott is absolutely correct. Awesome. So any other questions? Let me go back. Bear with me one moment. I'm going to go to another page here and just make sure there aren't any questions over there. And if not, we're going to go into Chirply and have some fun. And I'll show you some tips in there. We're going to create the Chirply side of this, and I'll show you some tips. Let me check my notes, make sure I haven't missed anything. Okay, all the pages are done. Thank you page with countdown timers done. Offer page is done. Okay, we are now ready for Chirply. Okay, no other questions. Wonderful. All right, hopefully everybody's still hanging in there. Okay, let's go to Chirply. I'll leave this page up. Okay, in Chirply, what you need to do is you need to integrate Twilio and Zapier. I'm not going to show you how to do that inside this training, only because if you click this icon up here, there are different sections of training inside Chirply, and there are great videos already showing you how to do that. So I don't need to duplicate that effort here. But you will go to Twilio. You do need a Twilio account to do what I'm going to show you in this upsell. And if you want to integrate phone integration and capture text numbers that you can text and call and things like that. If you don't have a Twilio number, if you're getting this from me, hit me up. I'll give you a link, give you some credits. Guys, if you're a partner, make sure you're giving all the people that you offer this software to your Twilio referral ID, because when they sign up, they get $10 in credits, and you get $10 in credits. So if you're watching this and a partner invited you, go back to that partner, ask for their Twilio referral link. It's worth $10 to you. If I'm the one that invited you here, hit me up and I'll send you mine. And if you're a partner, make sure you're passing that on to all your people. It gives you $10 in credits. You set up 10 accounts. That's $100 worth of Twilio credits for you, and each of your people gets $10 for them. Numbers are $1 a number per month. Toll-free numbers are $2 per month. Texts are 3/4 of a cent. Yes, 3/4 of a penny. You can send 1,000 texts for $7.50. I think texts through a toll-free number are a penny. Now, keep in mind, if you're a local business or you're doing this locally, you don't want an 800 number. If you're a restaurant or a local gym or a chiropractor, people are more likely to pay attention to that number if it's local. If you're doing something nationwide, you're an online agency, something like that, an 800 number may be worth those extra, just a little tiny bit of money to do. So I'm not going to go inside my Twilio account. I can just get rid of that. Actually, we don't need that. But you do have to integrate Twilio, and you also have to integrate Zapier. Again, very easy to do, and there is a great video inside the training section. You also need a phone number. Okay, so once you've connected this to Twilio, let's get a phone number. You'll click all numbers, and I'm going to go ahead and get a, whoops, no, you're not going to click all numbers. You're going to click buy a new number. Now, we're already integrated with Twilio, so this is going out to Twilio to look for a phone number. And I'm going to show you a trick here too, because Remember, Twilio numbers can come and go. So someone could have used this number before. They could have been a phone scammer or running a boiler room, and that number's been flagged as spam. I'm going to show you how to make sure that has not happened with the number you pick. It's very quick and easy. I want a local number. I don't want it toll free. We can do mobile. I always check local and put your own area code in there, or the area code that you're working. If you're building this for a business that you're working with, put that business's area code in there and hit search and find a number. Okay, so let's just scroll down here. Okay, these are different numbers we can. I usually try to find something, if I can, that ends in a 5 or a 0. So here we have 717-696-1765. I'm going to copy that number before I buy it, and I'm going to go to whitepages.com/phone-scams-spam. This is where White Pages will tell you if this number is good. So click phone and paste that phone number in there and hit search. Hit the little search icon. Okay. And it says spam, fraud potential, low risk. You can call with confidence. If that says mid risk or high risk, and I think that's in red if it's high risk, do not get that number. Go back to your Chirply account and pick another number, and then go to White Pages and their scams. What was the link again? Scams, whitepages.com/ that's not going to show up now. Actually, if I just type it in there, it'll phone scams-spam. Okay. And check that. So make sure you check it before you buy it. So we checked that and we're good. So I'm going to click buy. Okay. That's the number ending in 1765. I get a different number for different campaigns. Okay. Now we have to configure this number. We're gonna come back and configure this in a little bit because I want to set a couple of things up before we configure it. But I am going to change the number alias. This is what you'll see inside your Chirply dashboard. Whoops, I don't know what I did there. This is what you'll see inside your Chirply dashboard, and we're going to call this the Facebook Live Demo number. All right. Okay, now if we look at our list, as soon as that comes up again, if we go back to our Chirply dashboard and you see your list of numbers that you've got in this particular Chirply account, you'll see there it is, Facebook Live Demo number, and there's the actual number. Now we want to set up a couple of things, inside Chirply before we get started. Okay, we're going to set up 3 lists. If you go over here to lists, okay, we're going to click that. We want to have 3 lists for this particular way we're building this sales funnel. I want a list for people who have opted in to the form. Okay, so we're going to add a list and we'll call this Facebook. Let's see, let's call this Genius Pages and Chirply Facebook Demo. I'll copy that because I'm going to be typing that a lot. Opt-in list. Okay, this is where people who have first opted in, but they have not yet pressed 1 on the phone. Okay, so these are opt-ins. All right, and we're going to create that list. Okay, now I want to create a list for people that got their free software, and we're going to call this one Genius Pages and Chirply Facebook Demo Free Software Users. These are people that got their free software. Now, maybe they got, oops, it keeps doing that to me. Free software users. These are people that opted in and pressed 1. Okay, they answered the phone. These people engaged with us. They pressed 1. They got their free account set up. We want them to be in their own separate list because we're going to come back and contact them again later for other things. Okay. It doesn't look like it's in there. And we need an unsubscribed list. Okay, so we're going to do unsubscribe. So if somebody unsubscribes, why I'm hitting something on my okay. Unsubscribed, and they just unsubscribed. Okay, create, save successfully. Okay, So we've got, I say, okay, so there's our list. Let's just click list again and make sure all three that we have up. So you want 3 accounts. You want one for the people that opted in that haven't gotten their software yet, or their free gift, whatever your free gift happens to be. One that has answered the phone and gotten your free gift, and ones that unsubscribed. So let's make it. So those are our 3 lists right there. Now what we want to do is, remember on the upsell page, I had text partner to a certain number. So we want to do that. That's what this is going to be. We're going to create an autoresponder. When they text that, something happens. So what's going to happen is Genius Pages and Chirply Facebook demo AR autoresponder. Okay, and I don't need to have a description there. We know what that is. Oops, we do have to have a description there. I'm just going to copy that. Also, all right, so we're going to save that. Okay, so now we have an autoresponder. We're going to come back and do some things inside this autoresponder. I just wanted to create it for the moment, okay? And we're going to do the same thing with campaigns. Now, a campaign is something that's automated. When they're in a campaign, you can do things during different days. And we're going to build 2 campaigns inside here. We're going to create one for people that filled in the form. So this is the Genius Pages and Chirply Facebook demo form fill initial contact. Okay, that's what we're going to call this campaign. Okay, now I'm going to, step 1. You can call this whatever you want. You can call it something that'll remind you what this step does. This is going to try to get them into the IVR, which we don't have yet. We haven't created that yet. So we're going to have this happen immediately. And it's going to be a phone call. You can phone people, you can email them, or you can text them. I'm going to just put something in here. I don't think I can save that yet. Let's hit done and see if I can save that. We need to come back. We need to create our autoresponder. I just wanted to get the campaign built for the moment. Yeah, it's not going to let me do that. So let's just put test. And we're going to have this come from our Facebook Live demo number. And we'll save. Okay, so we've got that in there. We're going to come back and edit that. That's not what it's going to do. And then we need to add another campaign. Okay, we're going to have a second campaign that people go into once they've gotten their software. What I like to do with this one, because I'm giving them software, something that they have to set up, I'm going to set up a multi-day campaign. All right, so we'll do something like on, step 1. Okay, we already got that. So step 1, it's going to happen. Actually, this is not going to happen immediately, although we could. This is going to happen a day later. And it's going to say, actually, let's do it immediately. Let's just tell them thanks. We're going to text them, and we're going to say, thanks for, or congratulations on your new software. Check your email. That's where I'm going to send the login demo. If you're giving them a coupon or something like that, you could deliver it through text. I usually try to get them to check their email if you're also capturing that information. Get them to, make this a multi-point of contact, multi-channel system here. Facebook Live demo number is the number that's going to text them that right away. Okay, we're going to save that. I'm not going to build out this whole funnel, but you would come back with things like step 2. You want to make sure your customers are using your software, right? So come back like a day later, the same time the next day, and we'll text them and we'll just say, have you had a chance to use your new software yet? Have you had a chance to use the software yet? Hit me up with questions. Okay, something like that. You want to stay in touch with them. You want them to hear from you. You want them to engage with you, and you want them to remind you about that software until you know they're using it. Okay, if they're a client of yours, you want them to get into using it so they can get the advantages of using it. If they're your partner and they're somebody that's got it, you want to make sure they're using it and know how to do it. Day 3 could be the same thing. Day 4 could be a reminder of where the training is. Day 5 could be, hey, now I know you're using it. Send me a review. Here's my review link. And you put your sticky reviews link that they can give you a video or audio or text, anything like that. Let me stop and see if there are. Thanks, Diesel. Yeah, that's a really good question. You definitely want to make sure your number's not going to junk. Okay, so I don't see any other questions at the moment. Okay, so that's our campaign. Okay, we don't need to add any more steps. I will show you this. I'm not going to do anything with this, but if you're a business, a local business like a restaurant, or a chiropractor, a hair salon, massage parlor, anything like that, you want to maybe not send a text out at 3 a.m. Okay. I don't really care, because if they fill out the form and they're awake at 3 a.m., they're going to get info back at 3 a.m. and that they're up at that time. So I'm okay with it. Most businesses aren't going to want to do that. So you can limit your hours on different days you can say, don't email on, I don't know, maybe you're super religious, don't email on or text on Sundays. Okay, no problem. Fine with that. Don't email certain times of day. So you can use this. I'm not going to put any settings in here, but there are settings for your campaign where you can make sure it's only going to send information to the recipients during particular times a day. Okay, we have no recipients. We've built our 2 steps, and we're not doing settings. So that's the campaign. Okay, so let's review. We've gotten the number. We've set up an AR, an autoresponder, but we have to go edit that. We've set up 2 campaigns. We still have to edit the first one. We've set up 3 lists. Let's go build an IVR. This is where it gets fun, okay? If you don't know what an IVR is, if you ever called a major business like a bank or a car dealership, like a car dealership, thanks for calling, Jones Ford, press 1 for sales, press 2 for the, repair department, press 3 for warranty information, press 4 to speak to an operator, that kind of thing. That's called an inbound IVR because it was inbound to the company. You called them. What we're going to set up here is what's called an outbound IVR. So if you remember in our Genius campaign, in our Genius Pages campaign, on the first page, they're filling out this form, and then it's going to go to another page for them, but it's going in the background, Chirply and Zapier, between the 2 of them, it's going to call the customer. So what we're going to create right now in this IVR is what that customer hears when they get that phone call. So let's do this, okay? You go into the IVR section over here, and you create an IVR. Hopefully you saw me do that. And we want to click inside that box, and we're going to call this IVR. This is the Facebook, Genius Pages and Chirply Facebook demo IVR. And the description of this is IVR customer gets when completing the form, okay? That way you'll remember what this is. You can have different types of IVRs, okay? You can select an input type. We're going to do a numeric input. Now, we want them to have a message. We want them to hear something. You can upload an audio if you've already created it, or maybe you want to have a professional voice actor create your messages that they hear. You can certainly do that. I'm going to just record one here, and you just hit record and hit this. I'm going to do something really quick and easy for here, but make it professional. Hey, thanks for filling out our form okay, I screwed up. So just hit stop, record audio, hit record again. It's that simple. Hi, thanks for filling out our form. Your accounts are not set up yet. There are 2 things you need to do. First, you need to press 1 on this call, and your accounts will be set up, and then follow the instructions that you'll hear after you do that. If for any reason you've changed your mind and you don't want your awesome free software that's worth $140 a month, press 2. Otherwise, press 1, and we'll get your account set up for you automatically right away. Okay, something like that, all right? That's not what I would put on there, but off the cuff, on the fly in a training, that's good. And then what you can do is you can go listen to that. Now, I don't have my sound on my computer. It might echo. I'm going to turn it on. Hi, thanks for filling out our form. Okay, I'm going to turn that off. Hopefully, so we're good. And you listen to it and make sure that it's good, okay? And we've got a numeric input, so I'm going to hit done. Okay, so if we come back now, there's our message. There's an IVR option. Now, we have an IVR option of text input, so I'm going to hit plus, and it's going to create those inputs. So remember, I gave them a 1 to set up their accounts, or a 2 to not set up their accounts. So the audio here we're going to record it, is for the people who pressed 1. And I'm going to say something like, fantastic. Again, 2 things you need to do. 1, your accounts are being set up automatically. You need to watch for a text and an email from me that will have your login information. And the second thing you need to do is consider something for me. We're going to have an extra special offer that I'm going to make to you that's available right now and only now that can help you make more money with your free accounts. If you'd like to hear that offer right now, and this is the only time it'll be available, press 1. And if you don't want to hear it and you just want your free accounts, press 2. Okay, so what I'm doing is we've got the upsell page, right? They're going to see that anyway, but I want to engage them on the phone. I want to build up some stuff here. Again, we'll just listen and make sure that went live and recorded. Okay, so I'm going to pause that. Now we have different input types. What we want to have happen is, again, we can make a call. We can go to a voicemail. We can send a text. We can do nothing. What I want to do is another numerical input and hit done, because they can press 1 or 2. So let's go back to the beginning here. On this initial call, we need to set up the 2, which is the people who press 2. And I want to just tell them they can do this later. Okay, sorry you changed your mind. These accounts are available for you, but you will have to fill out the form again. Go back to, and then give them the URL. Okay, whatever you want. And then hit stop. It will save that, check it, and you can fire some actions, okay? If they pressed 2, whoops, I have to go back. I didn't do the actions on the other one. You want to fire some actions. One of the things that we want to do is we want to unsubscribe them from a campaign. And why am I not scrolling? We want to unsubscribe them from a campaign. Okay, they are already in the initial contact campaign. We want to unsubscribe them from that. And we want to add them. Let's see here. Free account owners. Initial contact. We want to add to. Let me just check here and see what I got. Okay, so we're not adding them to a campaign because they got out of there. Actually, that's all we really need to do is just unsubscribe them because they're done. They're not anywhere. They're not going to show up anywhere. They're done. So, and they're finished. We don't have an IVR type. We'll click nothing, and we're done. So that's that. So let's go back. I didn't fire action. See, this is live. All right. I'm glad I showed this, though. Here's how you edit it. Just hover over it. If you need to delete an option, hit the trash can, and we're going to go back in and edit this. And we need to fire actions. Well, we're going to do a couple of things here, okay? One thing that we're going to do is we're going to move them. They're all automatically in the demo opt-in thing. We're going to move them to the free software user because they pressed 1 to get their free software. So I want them in that list. I want to add them to the campaign. Let's bear with this. Okay, well, I want to move them to there. I want to unsubscribe them from the initial contact one. And I'm not seeing our second one in there. Well, let's just do that. And then we want to add to Zap. Okay, so we need to create a new Zap. And we're going to call this Zap. Again, we're going to use this Genius Pages and Chirply Facebook demo account setup. All right, this is going to be a Zap that's going to set up their accounts automatically. You do not have to do that. If you're a partner with Tier 5, you don't have to manually set up accounts. Chirply will tell Zapier to set them up, and Zapier will set them up. So you just name that Zap. We don't do anything else in here. The rest of this will be created inside of the Zap. Okay, so oh, I see what I did. I named I named our other campaign step 1, but that's okay. So let's just double check that we've got everything good here. All right, let's hit done. Whoops, we have to check that account. I didn't check which Zap they were going to. And let's just hit done. And we'll test all this. So if there's anything that we didn't do or that needs to be done properly, let me just go back in here and look. So what's happening? They get their message. It says they're going to get an upsell to press 1. We move them to the free software user campaign. We unsubscribe them from the initial form campaign. We want to move them to the step 1 campaign, which I misnamed, but that's the one that is a campaign for users. It's going to tell them, hey, are you using your software yet, and all of that. If an option doesn't come up because we've already clicked past it like that, just go back and edit it and do it. Okay, so now we need down here. Let's add more on here. Now this is where they've pressed 1. They want to hear about the upsell. You can tell them about the upsell right now, but what I want to do is pre-qualify them. I don't want to get on the phone with somebody and make a $97 a month offer to somebody who doesn't have $97. It's a waste of their time and it's a waste of my time. So I use this particular step to pre-qualify them and let them know how much this offer is going to cost. Let me go back and see if there are any questions. How are they going from page 2 to 3? Yes, I'll go back and show you that, Diesel. Great question. Actually, let me stop. While we're kind of stopped here, let me show you that right now. Diesel asked, how do you go from page 2 to page 3? On page 2 in the countdown timer, in the settings of the countdown timer, click that, go to countdown. Over here in the settings, we're at landing page, how much it is. And what we did is there's a box here. You can leave that blank and nothing will happen. But if you click redirect when countdown reaches 0, there's the URL, and we're taking them to, let's see if I can see it, to page 3. And that happens automatically because I've checked that box and put a URL in there. FB Live demo. Okay, let me save that. Hopefully that answered that question. I don't need to preview changes. I want to check something here. I'm getting a text from a friend of mine who owns a really good vitamin company. He's a CEO, and he missed it. Well, good. Bill, you can watch the recording. Not a problem. Let me just make sure I'm using the right URL here, and that's where you would go back down here. FB. See, I did FB Live demo. You know what we can do because, well, we'll leave it. FB Live site. So what I need to do is I need to change that. Okay, it's FB Live site is where we're actually sending the people to. So it's easy to fix. You can see how easy this is if you make a mistake like that. FB Live site, apply changes. Okay, easy enough. And we'll save those changes. All right, so Diesel, hopefully that answers your question on that. Cool, excellent, beautiful, perfect, thank you. You're very welcome. Okay, so where were we? We were back in Chirply, and we are creating this IVR. Okay, so let me go out of here. If you forget where you were, which I just did, you just want to go back. Oh, I see. We're in this upsell. So I was talking about an upsell, okay? I want to pre-qualify this person, so I'm going to say something like this, and I'll make it more professional like this if I was actually doing it. But for the demo, it'll be something like, fantastic. I'm glad you're interested in our awesome offer. Before I connect with you and tell you about it, I do need to make you aware of the fact that it's going to cost $97 a month. It can help you make thousands, but it's going to cost $97 upfront every month. If you are not in a position to pay $97 a month right now, press 2, and you can reach out to me later and see if that offer is available or if we have a different offer available. If $97 a month is nothing to you in order to make thousands, press 1, and I will connect with you right away. Okay, we'll stop. It'll be something like that. Again, it's just a qualification message. Don't waste your time talking to people who can't do business with you. You're not just wasting your time, but you're also wasting theirs and giving people false hope. So you don't want to do that. I'm not going to fire any actions on this, but I'm going to make a phone call, and I'm going to call me, okay? I'm going to call my personal cell number, and there's a call whisper. Now, I need to say this, although it might have been fixed. What call whisper is when you pick up the phone, it'll say, hey, you've got a lead. They're interested in your upsell from your funnel. But don't do the call whisper right now. There was, at least last week, a small glitch in Chirply that John has already said they're fixing. The next update, it'll be done. If you record the initial audio in the call whisper right now, the call whisper will be the message they hear, and you don't want that to happen. So you need to hit done and go out and come back in and edit, and then you can add the call whisper. Okay, and the call whisper, again, we'll turn that on. You don't have to have it, and it'll say something like, hey, Ed, you've got a lead from your demo site. They're interested in the upsell. Okay, that's there. And we're done, okay? And I can do a text. Sometimes I'll take a text, and because we'll have all their info, and I'll put something like upsell lead, and this will come right away. So I'll see it as the phone's ringing. I can put their first name and their last name in there. Whoops, I'm still recording that. I'm still recording that call whisper. That's going to be a long call whisper. That should be like 2 seconds, right? I'll re-record that. All right. So anyway, I would send myself a text, and I want to know the customer's name. And I can answer the phone. Hey, John Smith, how are you? Great. Glad you're interested in their upsell, and they'll be, even more interested. So we can do that. Let's record this audio again. Hey, Ed, you got a lead from your site. It's an upsell. Pick up the phone. Something quick like that. So now what will happen is they press 1. Once they've pressed 1, it's going to make a phone call to my cell. And when I pick up the phone, it's going to say, hey, you've got a lead. And I think it says something like press 1 if you want to connect with them. I'll press 1 and boom, they're on the phone. It's ringing them and it'll connect us. So we're done. Okay. That's the qualification. Okay. That's that. Actually, I shouldn't have put that there. That's the qualification. If they press 1, we wanted to go to the next step. Actually, what we can do, let me show you this because I'm glad that happened. Watch this. It's much easier. Sometimes it's easier to change something small. So I can't break that. That's okay. Let's just edit it. Let's do it. This is the way things work, right? We're doing live. Let's just edit it, and I'll show you how easy it is to edit things. So we just click that button. We come up here. We've already got our proper message up here, but what we wanted was an input type because we've told them when they press 1, it's going to make the call. So I actually need to put that on the next step. So let's just review what we've done in case anybody's lost. This step here is they get a phone call, and they press 2 if they're not interested in their free gift. They press 1 if they are. If they press 2, they're unsubscribed. If they press 1, we move them to a new campaign. We unsubscribe them from some campaigns, and we're going to do a Zapier that sets up their automatic accounts. And then we also tell them they can press 1 if they're interested in our special offer. Then they go to our qualification step here. Well, let's do this. We press 2 if they're not interested. So let's add that. Okay, sorry you're not interested in our special offer. It really is awesome. It can make you some great money using our software that you already have now. If you ever change your mind, text partner to whatever our phone number is. All right, again, this is a demo, so that can be whatever. But, give them some further information. Just because they don't want it now doesn't mean you can't come back and sell them later. And we're not doing anything else. There's no other thing. They're done. Okay, they pressed 2. They didn't want the upsell. They're finished. Okay, now we have down here, they did want the upsell. This is where we're going to come back in and record the audio that says, congratulations. You've already qualified yourself that $97 a month is okay for you, especially if you can take the software that you've already got now that's been set up for you and make lots of money from it month to month to month. Press 1 if you're available right now to speak to me, and my system will try to grab me. Otherwise, hang up, and I'll call you back as soon as I can. Okay, we'll stop that. And now we're going to do what we did before. I'm not going to do the whisper because I've already shown you how to do that, but you're going to call, it's going to call me, and it can do we can set up a call whisper or a text, but I'm not going to do that right now. I've already shown you how to do that in the one that I screwed up. So we're good. That's our IVR. Okay. That's all finished. That's fantastic. Now we have an IVR. Now we can go back to this campaign that we created, which I called step 1. And we can, actually, step 1 was that was the one for customers, wasn't it? The initial form fill. And we need to edit step 1, go up here to campaign builder and go to edit. Over here on the right-hand side is a little pencil. And what we want to have happen immediately is we want it to go to make a phone call. We want it to go to an IVR. We want the number that comes up on their caller ID and the number that is going to be making the call, this live demo number that we just bought during this training. And we need a template. And we're going to use the IVR template that we just created and hit save. Okay, now I'm going to teach you something that John Vaughn taught me. He is the CEO of Tier 5. What if they fill out the form and you do the IVR and they don't pick up the phone? Is that it? Are you done? Do you give up? No. We're going to call them again. Step 2, IVR 2. When are we going to do that? Right away. If they pick it up and they don't press 1 or 2, if they press 1 or 2, they're out of this campaign, remember? But if they pick it up and just hang up, or if they don't answer the phone, we're going to call them right back, and we're going to do the same doggone thing again. We're going to call from that number. We're going to do the same IVR. We're going to do it again. Now, John puts like, I don't know, 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 of these things in there. And he just calls them and calls them and calls them and calls them until they answer the phone or block the number or whatever. I don't do that. And one of our other partners I was chatting with the other day, Derek, he doesn't do that either, but I do 3 times. Okay, I do want them to pick up the phone. They took the time to fill out the form. Why wouldn't they? Okay, this is going to be IVR attempt 3. We're going to call them right away, and we're going to send that phone call. IVR. Okay, do this. Do it at least a few times. Whoops, that's the wrong phone number. Make sure you're on the right phone number and the right IVR. Okay. Now, if for any reason they haven't picked up 3 calls, I do still want to reach them. So what I'm going to do is add a step, and I'm going to call this text step. Okay, they didn't pick up the phone after 3 times. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to send them a text, and it'll say something like, hey, you filled out the form, but didn't answer the phone. Your free accounts can't be set up until you do. And then you can give the URL, go to, I'm just going to put well, actually, let's put it, go to https://free, no, what was it? It was FB demo site.geniuspages.io. Okay? Genius. So we tried to call them 3 times. They didn't pick up the phone. They're ignoring us. Their phone's not working. They're out of range. We don't know. Maybe they don't even have their phone with them. Okay. We don't want to assume that they refuse to answer. Hey, you filled out the form but didn't answer the phone. Your free account. And you could do this whatever you're delivering. If you're a chiropractor and you're given a video on the advantages of chiropractic, you're given a free account or free initial consultation or something like that. You don't give it to them until they answer the phone. They got to take the actions that you ask them to take. All right. And what number is going to call? What's going to text them? It's this FB Live demo number. And you can put keywords in here like, hey, Joe, whatever their first name is from the data that they filled out on the form. And you can give that. This will tell you how many texts it is. You can only have like 140 some or whatever characters. If you want it to all come in one text, you'll have to delete some characters. I've got 5 left, and that's good. That'll fit all on one text. Save. To recap, what have we done in Chirply? Let's go back and see what we need to do. And let me check my notes here. We've done the IVR. We've done input 1 and 2. We've gone back and edited the initial campaign to add the IVR to it. I think we've got Chirply about as far as we can for the moment. Oh, no, we don't. We need to set up our autoresponder. Okay, what we want, remember on our 3rd upsell page, we want them to text. Where's our demo? There it is. We want them to text the word partner in order to get their information. Hey, do you want it? You want this? We've given the whole thing about the partner. There's the video. There's the instructions. So we need to add that keyword. These are not case sensitive. I see people do trainings, and I thought this for a while too. They'll do a training and they'll do it like this. They'll do, partner, if it's 2 words or whatever. You don't need to do that. Okay, it's not case sensitive. So partner was the keyword, and what we're going to do is we can send them a message right back, okay, that says, thanks for your interest. I'll call you momentarily. I don't want to say immediately because what if I'm not available? I'll call you momentarily, okay? And then what we want to do is, I have to build a sales bridge. I'm going to have to come back and fire a response. We want to trigger a sales bridge, and I'll show you what that is. So let's just put this in here right now. We have to come back and edit that. Remind me to edit the partner if I forget in a moment. Then what we want, that's the only thing we care about, right, is the word partner. So we want a default message. If they type anything other than the word partner, we can say something like, we don't check this number for texts. If you need to reach us, and then give them the instructions, call or text. Well, they could call this number, right? Call this number or text to, whatever that phone number is, whatever, your number or your office number or whatever maybe I want to give them my main work number, 717-502-4001. Yes, that's a Chirply number. Yes, it's got an inbound IVR. Use these tools. They're there for you. Okay, so save. If they put anything in that's not that keyword partner, that's the message they're going to get back. Okay, let's go build a sales bridge, and then we'll come back and fix partner. What a sales bridge is, I'm so sorry. What a sales bridge is, okay, these are templates. You have different things you can do. You can make audio templates. This is where you would, remember I said when you're doing your phone messages on the IVR, you can upload audio templates. You could hire a professional and he'll give you an MP3. This is where you load those and then you can put them in. But we're going to do a sales bridge. And what we want this sales bridge to do, a sales bridge, all it is a way for Chirply to take an action and contact a salesperson or salespeople. Okay, maybe you take them right from a Facebook lead ads form to your sales team and you got 5 of them. Well, the sales bridge will connect the Facebook lead ads to your sales team. We're going to use it a little differently because we're going to use this if somebody texts the word partner. So let's add a template. Okay. This is what you will see in the Zapier drop-down list. Now, we're not going to do this through Zapier. We're going to do this directly in here. A lot of times you're going to do this in Zapier, but we still need to give this a name. So we're going to call this our GP&C FB demo sales bridge. Okay. Description says it's optional. Twilio number. This is going to come from that Facebook Live demo number. And the message here is whoever gets the call. This is your salesperson or you. Okay, so you could put record audio. You could put this person texted partner. They want to talk about the partner program. Okay, so you'll hear that. And if you want more information, you can go partner lead. And again, if you're in a different program, if you're not one of the tier 5 partners, and you're doing something else with this, whatever your information is, you'll just make it applicable. But this is a partner lead. I want their first name and their last name. I want to know who they are. Maybe I even want their phone number so that if I can't answer the phone, I've got this right there in my text messages and I can call them back as soon as I'm available. Okay. You can also text a thing and then put in the number that you want. Okay. So add number. Whoops. I'm going to send it to my cell. Okay. You could send it to 5 people at once. Hey, whoever answers this thing first gets this lead, right? But I just need the one and then hit submit. So we have a sales bridge, and what happens when that sales bridge is triggered is it'll call me at my number, and it'll send a text that says partner lead, first name, last name, phone number, and a short message to me. So let's go back to that autoresponder and put that sales bridge in there. Okay. Over here, just scroll to the right. You can see it's a sales bridge. We're going to click edit. And now we have to add what that sales bridge is. And there's one right there. It automatically picked a different one because we only had one, but now we have 2. Check that and hit save. So now if somebody texts partner to that telephone number, what we want to do, while we're mentioning that, let's put that number over in Genius Pages. Okay. As you're doing this, there's a lot to this. There are a lot of pieces. You don't have to do this all in the same order I'm doing it. We want this phone number. What is this phone number? There it is right there. 717-696-1765 is the one we bought during the training. All right. So let's go back to Genius Pages. We're going to go to page 3 and we're going to put that phone number in there, right? Remember how we do that? We click that. We click text. Let's highlight the phone number. Let's paste the phone number. And then we'll put it in a format that's prettier. Oops. What did I do? Click the wrong spot. There we go. Put a space in there. Put a thing there. Okay. Good. Remember to save your work. I think we're good. Now we can go over to Zapier. Let's just do a review. We've got our pages done in here. I think everything's finished in Genius Pages. We've got nothing to save. Let's go back to Chirply. We've got our number. Let's just check everything. We've got our lists. There are 3 lists. We've got our sales bridge and templates. We've got our IVR that we built out. Okay. We've got our autoresponder for the keyword partner for the upsell page. And we've got our campaigns. Step 1, which I misnamed. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a way to change the name of a campaign. So if you all want to do that, put it in as the next feature update for next feature update. There are 2 steps in there, no recipients yet because we haven't fired it off. You can glance how many people are in there just at a glance by next to this where the person is there, where the little head is. Whoops, I clicked on it. That'll be good. Okay, so anyway, we've got our things. Oh, yes. Did I add the IVR? I believe I did. Yes. Yep, we did. Form fill initial. Let's just check that. Oh, yes, because I told you just keep calling them. Okay, fantastic. We are ready to go over to Zapier. So let's do that. All right. Here's Zapier. Okay, we're going to create 2 different Zaps in Zapier. We're going to create one that activates when they fill out the form. Let me show you where that happened, just so you know where I am as what I'm doing in Zapier. Back here on the form, if you remember, let's make that go away. If you remember back here on the form, oops, what we told this form to do was to integrate with Zapier. All right. We told them 2 things here. We told them when they fill out the form to go to page 2 for the countdown timer. And see, that's where I needed to change that. The live site. And we've also told it to integrate Zapier with this form. So as soon as they hit the form, the page goes to page 2, and it sends a message out to Zapier that says, hey, trigger a Zap. And I'll show you how that all happens within Zapier. So that's what we're going to build first. And then we're going to build a second one where if the customer presses 1, then their phone will ring. We need Zapier for that. Now, before I go to Zapier, I'm glad I did that. Let's go to this actual website. We need data inside of Zapier from the form so it knows what is the first name, what is the last name, where is it getting this info. So what did we have? We had fblivesite.geniuspages.io. Yes, was that the domain? Yep, there we are. So you want to fill out a text thing, okay? We'll just put ed test. I'll put one of my emails in here, gmail.com. Now I'm going to put my actual phone number. Oops, I see a typo in there. Okay, but remember, there are 2 places you can change that. We'll go fix that. Let's just put my cell phone in there. Okay, and we're going to submit this. Now everything's not going to fire properly because we don't have it in Zapier. We don't have any of the stuff done. But this is going to, well, it may not. So let's see. I'm ready to go. Let's just leave that there. We need to go back to Zapier now. Just remember, we have to submit that information. Okay, so Zapier, add a new Zap, make a Zap. Okay, we're going to call this Zap. Always name your Zap so you forget. This is our FB Live demo. This is going to be the form completion Zap, right? Once they've completed the form. Okay, so to make a Zap, we have a multi-step Zap. By the way, you cannot do this with the free version of Zapier. You can't do multi-step Zaps in the free version. So you need at least the lowest level paid version, which is pretty good. It'll run you for a while. And if you're making enough money, if you're making more Zaps than what the lowest level needs, then you need the upper level anyway. Sorry, getting a sip of water. Okay. So what you want to do is to trigger a Zap, you need to tell it where to start. okay? And we are coming from Genius Pages. And remember, we've integrated this with Genius Pages. It was one of the very first things I showed you at the very beginning of the training. If you don't remember, go back in the recording or the instructions. And we're in Genius Pages. So what we're looking for from Genius Pages is a contact form, okay, that'll trigger when that happens. All right, so, oops. Okay, now it has to find our account. I only have one in here. If you have multiple Genius Pages in your Zapier, then pick one, but just select on your Genius Pages that you've already tested with. Hit connect, continue. Okay, and now we need to find values. Now, we're not going to find any yet because we haven't done that form. So I think, whoops. Well, where were we? Oh, there we were. No, where did I put the info? There it is. Submit contact form. Okay, can't be reached. Oh, you know what? I got to change that there too. I didn't put the right, see, and you'll find out as you test these things. I don't need that one anymore, do I? No, builder. Let's go to the builder. Oh, I tried to do it inside the builder. You can't do that. Okay, this is where we just need to go back out, come back in. That's why you save all the time, right? Come back in. There's our new sales funnel. Let's go edit that form. It didn't go to the right page. So we'll hit Pages, Index, Form, click the Form tab, and we need to go to, I'm sure I just put the, oh, I must have unchecked it. Integrate Zapier, and let's go to that, but I have to edit it. Live site. Page 2, apply changes. I'll bet I didn't apply the changes, or I didn't hit save now. Okay, so now let's go out to that site. Let's put in a test. Let's put in an email. And let's put in phone number. Submit that contact form. This isn't really going to do anything. What did I do there? It's still going to the same one. I need, because that was the old page. I didn't refresh the page to the correct page. Did I? Oh, I'm still in preview. See where it says, this is where you can fake things out. See where it says live preview up there? Remember, links aren't working and things like that in the live preview. Okay, so what you need to do is make sure you're actually out on, what do we call that? FB live site. geniuspages.io. Make sure you are on the correct page. And I'm going to refresh this in case my cache for Chrome. Okay. All right, try this again. Let's see if it goes to the right page. There we go. Okay, it went to the timer. Let's see if there's some information in Genius Pages now. Okay. Yes, success. So let's go back here. We need to choose a value. Okay, there we go. See, I've done that. It sees this form. Okay, that's the form that we're using, the one that we created. And hit continue. Now we need to find data. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to hit test and review. And make sure you're in the right form. Okay, and what we have is it captured the name. It's just seeing this form what it is. It didn't put my data in there. Sometimes it'll pick that up. I always do that too, in case it picks it up. Sample text, that's fine. That's a first name. That's a last name. As an example email and an example phone number. Okay. Pulled in 24 seconds ago. So that's good. So, and it said, it's got that info. So done editing. So what do we want to have happen? We're coming in the contact form. And we're grabbing that data. We want to do something. Well, the first thing we need to do is we need to split that first name and last name. Let me show you why. If you go to Chirply, let's just pick something here, okay? Let me just go to doesn't matter. I'll just go to this opt-in list. A lot of these are people that didn't go through to get their free software because I don't do it if they don't have a US number. Oops, I'm in the demo one. Let me go to the one I've been using. So I'll just show you why we need to do this next step. When you go in here, see how this is, and some people only put a first name in the form, that's fine. But see how this person has a first and last name? We want that as a separate first name and a separate last name, okay? And the reason is, so when we go to do things like text them, if you remember in some of the forms, when we text them, we can capture their first name and we can make things a little more personal. So we need that information. Okay, so we want to split that. We have to do that through a piece of code. I'm going to copy this. I have it over here in a text file. We want to go to code. There we go. Code by Zapier is what you're looking for. And what we want to do is run JavaScript in response to data from a trigger. Okay, continue. And then we have to put in an actual code. Okay, the input data that we're doing. Hold on one second. Let me check my notes here and make sure. I think I. Okay, input data. We want their name, right? And you can double check if you forget this. You can go back up and check. Field was called name. I just needed to make sure that's what it was. And we want to put some code in here. And the code we're going to put in the PDF that you'll get with the recording, this text will be in there. You can just copy it. If you can't see it real close, it's a VAR space name space equals space input data with a capital D dot name dot split space left parentheses quote space quote right parentheses semicolon new line output space equals space left bracket. I don't know what you call the other one, left funky bracket. F name colon name 0. Anyway, you don't need to get that from this video. There will be in the PDF that accompanies the training this information. You can copy and paste it. But basically what we're telling it here is to take the input data, which is name. Okay, that's what you have up here, name from the form. And we're going to split it. And we're going to split it into a F name and an L name so that we have their first name and last names separated. So when this data goes to Chirply, we can put things like custom fields in text that only use their first name and things like that, or if we want their full name. Okay, so we're going to continue. And I want to always hit test and review, and it'll say success or no success. Okay, it cannot read proper split of undefined. Okay, so we need to, let's go back up and make sure we've got the right data. Okay, we've got the form. Okay, we've got the data. There, see that field's called name. We're done editing. Let's go back into JavaScript and let's test and review. I'm not sure why that's not splitting. That should work perfectly. Oh, curly bracket it's called. Thank you, Scott. You can do 2 zaps on the free plan, but some are not available to you. They're considered premium. Yes. Yes, I accidentally unchecked the zap checkbox. Oh, that's why that didn't work that first time. Thank you. Okay, well, we have fixed that. Well, let's see why. Oh, I see. I know why. When we told it to go to name, we didn't tell it where to get that name. The little mistakes we make. Okay, so we're still in this customized JavaScript. Remember, we're telling it to look for name. Here's that name right there. Sample text. Okay, that's where they're getting that info from. Now we can continue. Now we can test, and it's going to say success. Okay, now we need one more step. Okay, what we've done is, let's just review what we've done. We've brought the information from the form in. We've split the name into first and second. And now what we need to do is we need to send this. We need to send this off. Okay. And what we're going to do is we want to be in Chirply. We want to sync leads. Okay. The lead came in from the form, but now we want to sync it with Chirply. We have to pick our Chirply account. Again, if you have multiple ones, make sure you have the right one. Click continue. And now you need to figure out where you want this to go. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to send them to this demo opt-in list. Okay, that's the list that's just for people who just opted in but haven't done anything yet. And we want to put them in a campaign. This is this one that we created called GP&C the Genius Pages and Chirply Facebook demo form fill initial contact. So now we're going to take this lead. We're going to put it in that list. We're going to put it in that campaign. Okay. Really important. And make sure that you're in sync leads is the event, is the thing that you want to do. All right. Now, we don't need to do anything with that information there. To complete finish required fields. Phone number, okay. We're going to go back to that contact form. We're going to hit phone, okay. Oh, we do need that one. Email. I'm going to go back to that contact form, and we're going to select their email. So now what they have is the phone number, okay. Now they've got, okay, we can't get the name now, the first name from the contact form because, see, it's sample text. That's not right. So what we want to do is get that first name from the run JavaScript F name, and we want to get their last name from run JavaScript L name. Now what we're going to pass to Chirply is the phone number from the form, the email from the form, and the first name and last name from the form as split up here when we run the JavaScript. Okay, now we can continue. We have the required information. Let's do a test. Okay, it's successful. It says true, business list save. We are good on that particular one. At the bottom of the screen, you can turn your Zap on, or at the top right-hand corner, you can turn it on. That's it. All right, so we're ready for a second Zap. So what we need to do is we've got this Zap on. Let's go back over here. Now, remember, we need a second Zap when they, actually, let's go look at what's happened, okay? So we filled out the form, right? And they came to this countdown page. And what we need to have happen while they're on the countdown page, at the first form, we just created the Zap that does everything here and puts everything into Chirply. But now while they're watching this countdown go down, we need to have Chirply send them that phone IVR that we built earlier in the training. And well, actually, they got sent that. We've already done that. Sorry. We need to do the press 1. Okay. So while this is happening, we already built the Zap that goes and syncs it. It goes to the campaign that sends the IVR out. Now, if they pick it up and they press 1, we need to set up their accounts. And I always let myself know that I got a new lead. So I'll show you how to do all that. We're going to create a new Zap. We're going to call this the, whoops, I have another thing that I put in there from Java code. Okay, GPNC FB demo. We'll call this T5 account setup. They're getting their tier 5 software setup. Okay, that's what we're going to call that one. So where we are going from here is we need the Chirply one. And again, it's right there, but if you don't see it, you can type it. Okay, you've already set up integrated Zapier with Chirply, and we want to trigger a Zap. So we want to have a Zap triggered. And we have to, remember, put in our Chirply account. We have to do that for every time we use a Zap with it. And we're going to trigger a Zap. Now, remember what we did in the phone IVR. We clicked Zap. And we had to create a new one, and we set up a Zap called GPNC FB demo account setup. Actually, let me show you where that happens, just so you know exactly where in the process what we're creating now happens. Okay, they come into the phone IVR. This one up here at the top, they get this message and they press 1. And when they press 1, they get this message, and there are a bunch of actions that will now happen in the background. They are moved to a new list called software user. They are added to the step 1 campaign. They are unsubscribed from the initial form fill campaign because that's finished. And we add a Zap, and we made a new Zap and just gave it a name. That's all you do in here. You just give it a name, because when they get there, it's going to go at this Zapier and say, hey, we got something going on in Chirply, and it's going to be this name right there, GPNC FB demo account setup. That's where we got it from, was from inside that IVR after they pressed 1. Okay. Now this, yeah, we found to trigger a Zap. Okay. And that's great. That's what we want to see. All right. So they press 1. It sold his app. Now it needs to do something. Okay, Chirply has to come in and actually have something happen. So let's go to, let me open a new page here. Again, if you're a gift that you're giving this person for doing this is something completely different. If you're a chiropractor or a roofer or a social media manager, you're not going to be delivering them software. So you'll have an API integration to do whatever you want, or maybe you're not doing this step. Maybe you're just taking them to a page with a video. But if you're a tier 5 partner, or if you're watching this video and you want to become a tier 5 partner, you can come in here and create accounts for people. Now, there are different levels of partnership. If you're right now, John's making available at $97 a month, you can get 10 accounts that you can sell. You can give them away under certain circumstances. I only give away starter accounts to upsell them advanced accounts. You want to really be selling this. Is very valuable software, but you can give away 10 of these, so of many different softwares. But the only thing we're giving them is the Genius Pages in this particular funnel, and we're giving them Chirply, the starter accounts of both. You have API documentation back here, okay, when you're in your account management. And you may have more accounts. I'm an unlimited lifetime partner. For enough money, John can set you up with that. Or you can get more if you need more than 10. So anyway, go to the API documentation, and we want to add a user. That's what we're doing, right? We're creating a user. You can go into here and manually create users, right? Let me do this if you want to go in here manually, but we want our system to do this for us, right? Automation, right? We can go to Genius Pages. We can hit add user. We can type in a thing. We can select which plan they get on Genius Pages, okay? But we don't want to do any of that. We want this API to do this automatically when they press 1. So go to API documentation, go to add user. There are a couple of things that we need here, all right? And Zapier will tell you what you need. So we're going to go to Chirply. Oops. I'm sorry, we're not going to go to Chirply. We're going to go to Tier 5, affiliate user. Again, we integrated Tier 5. I haven't shown you that integration, but that is in your training when you become a partner. I don't need to duplicate that here. And there are 3 things you can do with this API. You can add a user, unsuspend a user, or delete a user, update or suspend a user. So what I want to do is create a user, okay? And we're going to find the account. There's my Tier 5 affiliate account. And we want to add a user. And we're going to get this user info. The only thing we need is the info from the Triggers app and Chirply. We just need their email. That's the only thing I need to create their account. I do need a secret key. You guys don't want to use mine. I'm going to show it here on this training. You don't want to use mine because they'll become my user, and I will go back and monetize them. And you will lose any future monetization. So don't do that. Okay. So there's the secret key, and you'll paste that in. And then you want to add your token. All right. So go back here and copy your token. Once in a while, there'll be extra spaces there. Just check. Like, see here, there's an extra space at the end. Make sure that's gone. Let me go back up here. Make sure there's there's an extra space at the end. Just make sure there's not one there. And then we need to tell them what software we are setting up. Okay. We are going to go to software name. In this case, we're going to give them a Chirply account, and we want to give them the starter account because they're getting this for free. That's number 1. If they want higher than that, they can pay money for it. All right. We're going to continue. Let's test and review. Let's make sure that works. Okay. And we had trouble. Required field email is missing. All right. So I must not have put that in there. There's the account. Oh, there's no data. Okay. We need to get data. Do you know why? I don't have anybody in my Chirply campaign. I'm going to leave that blank for right now because it will find that. I'm going to skip the test for the moment. We don't have anybody in Chirply that's come through this yet. So let's skip that test. Okay, we want to add it. We've set them up Chirply. Now we just do the same thing, okay? Tier 5. This will take quick. We're going to set them up a Genius Pages account now too. Okay, so we need to create a user. I need to put in my Tier 5 account. We need to put in the email. oops, we're getting their email from that. Let's see. Last one I had was token. Make sure you get rid of that space. Secret key. Make sure, okay, there's no space there this time. Software, Genius Pages. Oops, software name. Genius Pages. And we're just giving them the basic plan. Continue. I'm going to skip the test because we don't have any data yet. We need to get some data in there, then we can test it. Okay, on. All right, so that's perfect. That's it. That's the that is the create user accounts. I was told we had to use the tier 5 1.00 and not the 1.01. I think that's changed. And I did to run, which one did I select? I picked the top run JavaScript. If I get a job, and I didn't get an error, it tested, so it should be fine. If you come back, select the other one. I don't know what the difference is in the two run JavaScripts. That question that Diesel brought up is back here. Well, actually, it's in the earlier Zap we were doing. And I believe we are now using the 1.01. But guess what? If this doesn't work and we do a test and the account doesn't get set up, then we'll have to go back and switch to different tier 5. But I believe we're now using the 1.01. Any other questions? Good. Okay, that's good. Any other? Let me go check this other site. I don't want to move forward. Okay, without making sure I don't want to leave anybody behind. Even though you can come back and watch the video, it's better to ask questions live. If you have a question, type it in. Joe, if you're still out there seeing on the other partners group any questions, you can type them in on my profile or text them to me. Great. Okay, it looks like no other comments at the moment. We still have 6 people hanging on here after 2 hours. Thank you. All right, I think we're good. Okay, let's move on. All right. Now, let's see. Oh, we do want to, you know what? We do want to do something else on here. I'm going to keep editing here. There are 2 other things we want to do while we're in Zapier after we've added these users. I want to send an SMS. Hold on one second. I need a sip of water. I want to send an SMS. And let's choose SMS. I've already set that up inside my Zapier account. If you don't have that, Zapier will tell you how to do it. I just pick a random number. It doesn't matter where this texts come from. I got a text message from Zapier, making sure it's still successfully connected. And this message goes to me, okay? And it says, you have a new free software. Actually, I can just put P5 user from the demo file. Okay. And where are we getting this info? It's going to be that email. I want all their info, their first name. Actually, I don't need their email in this text, but I want their first name and their phone number. Now, I don't have any data yet, okay? So it's not going to grab it. I may need to come in here and update this a little bit when we're done after we've got a sample data through there. I just want to get this set up first, okay? And this is going to send me a text that I have a new T5 user. So I'm hoping they keep going through the funnel and they get to the upsell and they press 1 or they text partner because they want to get information and it's going to call me automatically. But if I see a new user and there's nothing that comes through for the next 10 or 15 minutes, they didn't take advantage of the upsell. I want to at least call them and welcome them on board. Does every user, every tier 5 guy want to do this? No. When you get to the point you're setting up, 500 accounts a day, that's just not feasible. Unless you set up an SMS to send it to one of your customer service staff, in which case they could get this email and then they can give a personal welcome call. Welcome aboard. Here's how you use it, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I want that text coming out to me. And I'm also going to send an email. Okay. Email is through Gmail, I believe is what whoops. What did I do? Email. Sorry. I did that again. Gmail. There we go. Okay. Now, again, I have already integrated Gmail. I'm not going to cover how to do that. There are plenty of tutorials on YouTube. You can do that. I want to send an email. I want to send it from, I can pick one of my Gmail accounts. I'll just use this one for now. It's fine. Continue. I want to customize it. Who am I going to send this to? Okay. I'm sending this to that email from the data. I don't need a carbon copy. It's going to be from me, and I could put my names and different things in there. We'll just leave it the same so it doesn't trigger any filters. From name, I'll put your own name in here if you're doing this. And reply to should be, reply to, we don't need that. Subject, okay, your accounts have been set up, right? This is where they're going to get their info, have been set up. All right. And type in the body. Now, I'm not going to take the time right now, but you'll say something like, congrats, here's your info. And you would make it a really nice, beautiful email with all kinds of stuff, but you'll have, put their login, let them know your username is the email you entered on the form. And you can add that in there, right? You want to insert that in there. There's their email. We don't have that data yet, but that's it. Remind them what they use. Your password is, okay? And in our case, for Tier 5, it's the same password every time until they log in the first time and change it, so we can let them know. All right, and login pages are, and then put the login pages, okay? I'm not going to do that here. Just put in whatever they are.com. And then sign off and leave contact information or whatever you want to do, okay? So that's it, whatever you're going to put. And again, if you're not a Tier 5 partner and this funnel is not for setting up software, whatever you do at this step, even if it's just send them an email or send them a coupon in the email or a video or, whatever you might be doing, this is the way you can do that, okay? You can sign off if you want. I'm not going to do anything else. Continue. Okay, I'm not going to hit test and review. I'm just going to make sure this all looks good because I don't have the data, remember? Yeah, I know. We need the data. That's fine. Oh, to finish, you need to take care of that. Step 4 needs attention. Well, let's see what step 4 was. Well, let's test and review. It's going to probably tell me that it did go. Okay. All right, and now we can turn this on. And I just got some info. We should be good. Oh, I got to click done editing. Now we can turn our Zap on. Make sure you turn your Zaps on when you're finished. Any questions? Okay, why is my Zap not going on? There's something. I think this needs to be. Can I move? I got a little window there that I can't see. Let's test and review. It's probably going to tell me there's an issue. No. We need to create a new email. We had trouble. Needs at least one. Oh, I didn't put it to. See the simple issues that you get, okay? I didn't put a to error. Who are we sending this to? Oh, I see. Okay, because there's no data in here, it can't send it. I'm going to put my email in and I'll come out and edit that out later. That's fine. Okay. That's just because we don't have any data. And you can move data in there, but for this, there'll be data. You'll see in a moment. Okay, now we're good. Now I should be able to turn my Zap on. Okay, our Zaps are finished. I'm just waiting for that to go on. There we go. And if you go to your list, you should see them and they should be on. The ones that we just created are this one here, FB Live Demo Form Completion. And there should be an FB Live Demo, unless I called it something different. Where's the Zap we just did? Form completion, and there it is. GP and C, FB demo, T5 account setup. Okay, so we're good. That's it. We have all the puzzle pieces. The only thing we need to do is run a test, and we'll have that extra data, and we can go back and make a couple minor edits. So we should be finished. So let's go back to, and you can test this yourself, but let's go back. I'm going to go back to the site. I'm going to go here. and I'm going to send Where's data that you entered earlier. Okay, so I just need to refresh this. Oh, this says preview. I don't want to be in a preview page. Let's go there, and we are in the FB demo site.geniuspages.io. What did I do wrong? Well, let's go back to our builder, and I obviously forgot what our site was called. Oh, live site, not demo site. Let's just copy that and make life easy. How's that? There we go. Okay, so I'm going to do this again. Ed test, like that. Email. Let's see what happens. Let's see how far through this funnel we get. Your phone number. Okay, so I'm going to hit contact form. This should take me to page 2. And our first section of, we still have some work we need to do in the second section of Zapier, but we should get to the point where the IVR rings. And if it doesn't ring, then here's where the fun begins. We have to go back and figure that out. There's always a little something that gets missed as you're going through things. It will take about a minute for this phone call to come through. I'll go look for questions while we're waiting this minute for this to come down. And we've still got people on here after 2 hours and 10 minutes. And if it gets to 0 and I haven't gotten a phone call, then I need to go back and figure out why, and we'll do some troubleshooting. But basically, your accounts are set up. I've taken you through the whole thing. We just need to test some of this stuff here. And I'm hoping my phone rings. Hoping I put in the right form info. You know what you can do too is you can go check some of this stuff out, right? Like you can go through your task history. We might have an error already. Okay. No, the form completion. There's the phone. Okay, it's ringing. All right. Let me put this on speaker.
Hi, thanks for filling out our form.
That's the message we recorded.
Not set up yet. There are 2 things you need to do.
I'm going to press 1.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Again, 2 things you need to do.
I'm going to stop this right there. I'm not going to keep going. And if I refresh this, it's probably going to get an error because we didn't have all of the data, but it might have gone. Let's see what yeah, we got this account setup was stopped because we didn't have everything there, which is fine. We knew that. I said that was going to happen. We have to come back. But now we have data in Chirply. So let me show you what we've got over here in Chirply, and you'll see where this went in. If we go to our campaigns, and we look at this step 1, we've got a person there, and we've got a person here. Okay, that's the sample text. That was the one that we created just to test things out. I'm going to leave that there for the moment. Okay, and in the first one should be me because I pressed 1, and Chirply already took me out of that initial campaign and put me in this second campaign. Just got to wait for Chirply to open this up. Oh, it would help if I clicked. Okay, there we go. So see, there's me. There's the data that we put in. There was nothing executed, okay? No step executed previously, but it did do the current step. It's been initiated, but we don't have all of the proper data yet. We're going to still go back, but let's go to our lists. And we're going to check out, and I'll show you. Let's see if any of these, well, actually, it wouldn't have, yeah, it would have, because this happens in the IVR. Let's go to free software user. I pressed 1, so it should move me into the free software user list. Let's just double check that happened. Again, you want to test to make sure all processes are working. Okay, I mistyped that, but that's fine, okay? So I'm in the free software user. I'm actually going to delete myself out of there because we're going to go through and put, actually, no, I need to leave that in there. Let's go to Zapier. Okay, that's, it processed through tier 5. I got a text as a user, congratulations on your new software, check your email. So that came through. I got the text that says, I have a new funnel, and it gave me the name, first name, and phone number. And so we're good on all of that. And now the customer, after all of that has happened, is on this special offer page. We'll test this in just a moment. What we want to do is go back to Zapier, and we need to edit this particular step, this T5 account setup step. Okay, I want to, Let's go edit that. So go to your dashboard. If you need to edit a Zap, here's what you do. Oops, not dashboard. Go to your Zaps. If you have different folders, go to the proper folder. And we want this folder called Account Setups. There it is right there. So we click it, and now we're back in, and we can edit it. The first thing I want to do is edit the name because that's going to kill me. There's no space there. And where we had a problem, well, let's just go back to the beginning and make sure we've got everything. Okay, customize trigger a Zap. Find data. Okay, we've got the data. We should have the data from the form. Let's load more. There's Zap B that we just got. Now, because I filled out the form, do you see what we have now? We have their first name. We have their last name. We have their phone number. We have their email address. Okay? So, I got to change. I have a disposition in there, I think, because I've already got this in there. But we have that data, all right? So now we're good. So now we can go back, add user in tier 5. Everything should be good. All we need to make sure is that we have this proper email info in there. See how it's in there now? Before it said no data. Oops, I don't need it in there twice, but now it's good, okay? But just double check it, all right? Done editing. Check the next one. Just make sure it's picked up this data. This is too important to make sure it didn't work. Okay, see, this one still has no data, and now it changed. That's the wrong email address, but I mistyped it, but that's okay. This is just for an example. So we're good, all right? Now if I go down to send data and we do test and review, now this should come up proper. Success, okay? Now we're good. We already tested those. Those are good. The Zap is still on. Zapier automatically saves things. Let's go back to our website. Let's go to the beginning of this, and let's fill this out. Let's put the name correct. Let's do, actually, what I want to do so that you can watch all of this, let's delete me out of here. Let's go back, and you can see all this get added, right? So let's delete me out of there. This is how you delete a name from a campaign manually. Number was deleted successfully. It won't show up until it refreshes, which it's in the process of doing automatically. And let's go delete myself from campaigns. I'll show you how to pull somebody out of a campaign manually. Okay, I'm already gone because I was out of there. We don't need this sample guy in here anymore. Let's trash him. Just click that trash button. Yes, delete it. Okay, so now we should be good. Let's go try this again and see if this works. All right, ed test. I've got an email address. I've got a phone number. Submit contact form. And now we're going to wait again. We're just going to try this one more time. And then we'll go check the affiliate dashboard and make sure those accounts were set up. And we're done. If this works, we're done. I'll check the text for partner. I'll show you how that works because that fires off that sales bridge, which is kind of neat. And I'll let you hear what happens when that happens. I'll check for questions in a moment as soon as this phone rings in about 30 seconds. Actually, I can go over and look for questions right now. Will you post a JavaScript in the comments? Yes, I can do that. I can certainly do that. It might not be properly copyable because I don't know if it's going to put the line spacing in here proper, but there's a PDF of this training that I'm going to make. Let me just make sure that's good. Okay, that should go in my personal profile. You guys can copy that. Put a line space between that first semicolon and output. But this will be in the PDF that accompanies the recording. Okay, now this has not called yet. It's just a little bit slow. We can go to our, there it is. Yeah, jumping the gun here. All right, let's do this again. Speakerphone.
Hi, thanks for filling out our form. Your accounts are not set up yet. There are two things you need to do. First, you need to...
Okay, I pressed 1. Let's take this all the way through now.
Again, two things you need to do.
Okay, I'm going to press 1 because I want the upsell, right? So we'll press 1 again.
Fantastic. I'm glad you're interested in our awesome offer. Before I connect with you and tell you about it, I do need to make you...
It's qualifying me to make sure that...
Congratulations. You've already qualified yourself
and then I hang up. And if we've got our sales bridge correct, my phone should ring momentarily in just a little bit. I did already get a text that says I have a new Tier 5 user. It has their name. and their telephone number there, and we should be good. And if I don't get a phone call, then we got to double check that sales bridge, but everything's good. I do want to text the partner info. So let's go back to Chirply. Let's just make sure we've got that action set up when they press 1, because that, oh, you know what? I might not have wanted to hang up. Let's go edit this. Let's go look at this. Just double check these things, okay? Where I was in the IVR when I pressed 1 was this middle one here that says input number 1, the one next to input 2. And when they pressed 1, it should have taken me to here and called me. And there's the outbound phone number. I don't know why that didn't call me. Oops. What did I do? Edit. IVR outbound number. Yep. It should have called. Oh, what do we have there? Okay. I did get a checklist that the software has been set up. I just thought of something. I can't go back in the affiliate program and check because I used an email that already had an account. So I can't see that it's in there. It was one that already had one, but I'll bet you the one that I mistyped is in there. See, it's in there. They're a starter plan. I can upgrade them manually if they pay me some money. I can suspend them if they act like idiots. I can do this upgrade or suspend or delete also through, and I don't need that account, so I'm going to delete that. I can also do that through the API. That's Genius Pages. Chirply also has that. I don't need it. Same thing. We can delete that. And that's great. I got to figure out why we didn't get that last phone call. But that's basically it. I will stay on here and try to problem solve that. Did I fire the action for the outbound? I may not have. Oh, Diesel, thank you so much. I appreciate hearing that. Hopefully this has been a help to people watching this on a Sunday morning. Hopefully the people that watch the replay, it'll be good. Yeah, let's go back and see if I fired the action for the outbound IVR. That very well could be that I didn't. Oh, you know what? I see what I did. Yes. Thank you. Let me see. Yes. Diesel, I think you're right. Yeah, see, well, I wanted them to have to press 1. So that action should fire, whoops, on the next one. That's a good point. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. Right. Thank you. The simple things. Diesel, you fixed this for me. Thank you very much. We don't need an IVR there. We want to fire an action, I do believe. Well, yeah, we shouldn't have to do anything here. There's no actions there that we just want this thing to make a phone call to us automatically. When they go to here, they should hear a message and get a phone call. I'll come back and fix this last part and append it to the recording. I do want to check one thing. Let's check this keyword. Okay, let's make sure this works. This keyword in Sales Bridge. So I'm going to go into my text thing. Of course, you can text from up here, but I'm going to do it from my cell phone. And what I'm going to text is the word partner. And whoops, that needs to go in the body of the text. I'm going to create a new text. We're going to text the word partner to this 717 number. This is the one that we created up for this training. So we're going to 717-696-1765. And we're going to text the word partner. And I just texted it. So we're going to see what happens here and see if this works. And if not, where that happens is in the autoresponder. Let's make sure I've even got it set up. I may not have come back and edit it. We're in this autoresponder here. That's tied to that phone number. Oh, you know what? Look, Okay, see, I'm glad I came in here. Okay, one more thing we have to do, super important. I should have done this at the beginning, okay? What we need to do is set up the phone number to do a couple of features. All right, two things we need to do. I need to let it take calls because if somebody calls that number, I want to answer, right? So I'm just going to forward it to my cell. Okay, there's nothing else to do. If you call that number now, it'll forward to my cell automatically. I can do a call whisper. Hey, this is something coming in. There are all kinds of other options. They're in the Chirply training. But we also have to set this up to text. If I don't activate this, that autoresponder won't fire. What we're going to do in this, there are several things you can do. I want to set it up with an autoresponder, and we're going to choose our demo autoresponder, and I'm going to save it. Now let's go back to our autoresponder and make sure that number is tied to it. There's the autoresponder. And now what you see, there's our attached phone number. Now I'm going to text that word partner again. I can just copy it from before. I can paste it, and I'm sending a text out now with the word partner. Now it should start to fire off a few actions because it's been tied to this phone number. And now if it doesn't ring, there we go. It says, I got a text that says, thanks for your interest. I'll call you momentarily. So the text from the auto response fired. That's the text that you see right there. It just hit my cell. And it looks like the action didn't save, so I might need to edit this. What do we have happening? Edit keyword. Thanks for your interest. I'll call you momentarily. Okay, for some reason, the sales bridge didn't save, so that's not going to work. But see, this is why you test things, right? Let's save that. And that may have undone the sales bridge when I configured the phone number. So we're gonna run this through again. Okay, I'm gonna text partner. I'll show you something else you can do too in here as soon as, but don't do this until after you've tested it. Okay, and I should get a text now momentarily. There we go. There it came through again, and see the phone rings that fast, and that's me. And
this person texted partner. They want to talk about the partner program.
Partner lead at test plus 14,430.
Okay, it's got some other info that automatically goes. And there we go. So now that we know that that works, that sales bridge works when they text partner, we do want to put a couple other keywords in here. I would put stop. Okay. And the message will be, thank you. We will no longer contact you. You don't have to put a message. You can just do nothing. Okay. I have, what you might want to do is put them into, we don't know where they might be. You could unsubscribe them from any campaign they're in. I'm just gonna hit stop right here. Or you can just put thank you. But you can unsubscribe them from things, excuse me, and things like that. Let's save that. You should always have a stop in there. And then you can also put limits on there. Okay. For example, if they text partner, you can say, give them a different thing later. Now, I don't want to do that here because anytime they text me partner, I want to be able to call them. They're interested. But let's say you're a pizza shop and your keyword is to get a coupon or take some action or join the VIP club or whatever. If they're already a member, then you can edit this so you can limit the numbers that they do, only once. And if they've already put it in before, it'll say something like, oops, looks like you are already in our VIP club. So if you're a restaurant or something like that, you might want to add that. Now, I don't need that here in mine. I don't have anything like that in my particular funnel. That's really it. We've got our sales bridge working. What didn't happen? Just that last, the only thing that we don't have working right now is that last partner upsell. It didn't trigger that phone call, but everything else is. Thank you very much. You have questions, hit me up. If a partner invited you to this video, hit them up. If you're interested in setting something like this up for yourself, they can do it. If someone else invited you, if I invited you, hit me up. And if you're a partner, I'm always around to help other partners. So let me know. If you're not a partner yet of Tier 5, get in touch with whoever invited you this video or hit me up if I did. You need to be a partner at Tier 5. Help us promote this software. It's fantastic stuff. It works great. It's easy to use once you've done it once. This will become second nature. We got a whole funnel up in 2.5 hours while I'm taking questions and doing a training. I mean, you could do this whole thing in about an hour. And if you want a really beautiful site, you know, in 2 or 3 hours, you could have that all done and finished. Become a Tier 5 partner. We have all kinds of different plans at $97 a month. You can get 10 accounts that you can sell. I have some special stuff I give people who sign up with me. You can get more plans if you need them. If you're an agency, you can get 100 accounts, 500 accounts. You can get unlimited accounts. You can become a lifetime partner if you want, if John's accepting them. There are a limited number of partners. I think John's only taken 1,000 total. Lifetime partners, he only lets one in here and there. There are only 12 lifetime partners. Right now, the cost, I believe, is $70,000 one-time cost. But if that's what you want, if this is something you know you're going to be doing for a long time, it's a great investment. But if you just want to start small, $97 a month. That's it. Thank you. I'm going to go back to see if there are any questions. Okay, that's it. Have a wonderful day.